what I'm trying to understand before you ask 2 cents, what I'm trying to understand is, and I've been saying this since day one, man. And y'all don't have to answer because I want 2 cents to get her question out. He has all of these skills. We know this. He's a gym rat. He don't smoke. He don't drink. He don't party. He don't cheat on his wife. We all of this stuff we know. What we don't understand is why, with all of these skill sets and strengths, why did he go over to the snack program? If he knew that this was going to be an easy fight for him, according to his fans, what did he go over there for?
I'm not the fan to say that he said it was going to be an easy fight. I am a fan that say in my eye
Yes, he
test and
did.
assessment that he is that he
Bomac
is
was saying we're
that
going to
no.
dominate. We're going to dominate Spence. They kept saying that, bro.
Yeah, because he Bud Crawford said actually hold up, yeah, because I remember Bud Crawford said he'd seen something in that media day workout that he can expose on Spence. You know what I mean?
But I'm
Bud,
talking about before.
see,
But I'm talking
I
about
told you
before
from jump.
that. I'm talking about
Yeah, yeah,
before
yeah,
that.
yeah, because I'm gonna reiterate what I said. If you see something that's working, and just because everybody else believe that Victor Conte is who he is, doesn't mean that that's in Terrence's mind. So if you see something else that's working, why not go with it? That's what I
Bro,
said. Now,
that's
I'm
why.
also the
I'm going
believer
to
that
answer it.
all that snack program is propaganda because
I'll,
clearly, and I don't
I'll
want to
answer
hear
it.
that. And
Can I
look, and I'm gonna
answer?
stand on business. Yeah, I want to
Okay.
stand. I want to make sure. I want to make sure I'm not losing the chat, so they don't say I'm trying to contradict myself. And I'm gonna stand on business when I said last week or 2 weeks ago that I don't really think the snack program really works like that because how I don't believe that man over here that boo boo taking something different than Bud.
Now, with that being said, let me just talk a little bit about what I saw some of the people saying in the chat, and somebody talked about performance enhancing, and that it says on my website that the products enhance performance. Well, of course they do. And there's a lot of science that proves that they do.
I do have to ask you this because I always wondered this. All of the top fighters that are with you, Devin Haney, Terrence Crawford, you mentioned Boo Boo, Andrade, of course, before he lost, Mendoza. Most of the fighters that are with you, the top guys, and the ladies, I don't know if you did anything with Clarissa Shields or not
Yes,
in the
I
past.
helped her for one fight. We did blood
All
testing and
right.
she took products. Yes.
All right. My question to you, because the fans want to know this too, and so do I. All of the fighters seem to come to you when most of them are undefeated. Some of them have been world champions. They're already doing good. What do they need to go to you for if they're already doing good in the first place?
Have you ever heard of something called money?
Oh, yes.
You know what money is? Do you think people like money? Do you think people like sponsorships? Okay. So I provide a whole bunch of things, including money, to them. It's called sponsorship. Okay.
Got you.
So the stigma, whatever it is, whatever the price is that they have to pay, they feel that what they receive from me and my program is worth that stigma.
So, in that regards, I think that needed to be clarified. If you are spending money, what is the money being spent on? How much are you paying them? Those are the things that got to be asked because it sounds like what he was saying is I'll sponsor you if you're at the top tier of the boxing tree and you have to do these things for me. This is what I pay. You have to use my product, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So some fighters who probably don't want to spend the money that they need to spend for training, for sparring partners, some people have to be paid regardless of whether you fight or not, because sometimes a fight will fall out and you've already started training for a couple of weeks, you still got to pay people. So I think a lot of the fighters probably do want that sponsorship money. It doesn't necessarily have to come from him, but I understand what he's trying to do because sometimes fighters, as they move up, a local businesses or a few local businesses will sponsor them, and that's how they have additional revenue to pay for things, particularly when they haven't started getting the big money fights. That's how I've interpreted. I could be wrong. Now some people seeing it as the fighters were paying him. That's another question that's another area, but that's why he has to clarify that if he comes back or if he talks to you and he answers some questions in the chat, etc.
Well,
The
the thing I took from that, and we got to keep it all the way 100, which I know we all do here, is he already, so he mentioned this, and we actually just brought this up. I didn't ask him the question of why do the fighters go to you at this particular time that he brought this point up. He brought this point up a little earlier. He said, I just made a reference to it before you got up here, Greg, and I'll say it again. You and Aaron Muhammad wasn't here.
right.
He said, some fighters come to me so that I can make sure that the other fighters are not cheating. Later on, when I asked him, why is all the fighters coming to you if they're already world champions, most of them, and they're already undefeated? And that's when he brought up money. But early on, in the first 13 minutes of the interview, he told us, his words, not mine. He said, when I told him that I've been saying that the snack program works and people have been criticizing me, he said, it does work. He said, my products work and science proves it. That's his words, not mine. So the real answer, I gotta show my eyes, make sure I ain't being biased for nobody. The real answer of why fighters go over to Victor Conti is not because of money, because most of them have it. It's not because of sponsorship, because we know he gives them sponsorship. Because it's a different thing when you being sponsored. Yeah, you can use the products, but you ain't got to come to the gym to use it. You don't have to be on no calendar to use the product. You don't have to be on the oxygen mask to use it. I don't have to be in the dressing room with credentials, being a part of your strength and conditioning camp to sponsor you. But the bottom line is this, and we got to keep it all the way real and be honest. The reason why people go over to Victor Conti is what he said in the beginning. And that's because the snack program works and science proves it. And it enhances your performance as an athlete. It is very simple. I'm not saying he was trying to gaslight me with the money. I'm not saying that. I'm not. Because he probably is giving the money, and that's cool. I'm all for that. But let's keep it all the way 100. The real answer is that these fighters know the results, whether legal or illegal. We don't have to debate about that. But we know that they're going over to Victor Conti for performance enhancements. And if somebody challenged what I say, I'm okay with that. But you're going to make me run the clip back on a Netflix documentary where Devin Haney himself, and Mr. Greg is shaking his head, yeah, because even I played this time and time again.
Yes.
Devin Haney himself told you that it was performance enhancements. And he said it's without the drugs. But bottom line is, we know why they're going over to Victor Conti, and that is to get their performances enhanced.